you're an appliance repair guy or you own an appliance repair business, the struggle is real. I feel your pain. Hi, my name is Mark. I'm the owner of Appliance Repair American in Southern Florida, and I'm the founder of the GuildUSA app for appliance repair technician. This is Captain Jake here. He's the lead engineer at Appliance Repair American and the chief technical officer at GuildUSA.com. We're going to take you on a ride along today, and we're going on, I think, 4 or 5 jobs, and we're going to film Jake going through it. We'll film a little bit of how the application works, but we've automated the entire process because I was sick of answering phones. I was tired of tracing down, connecting invoices, writing invoices, connecting them to part orders, missing, forgetting to write part orders, calling clients back, trying to rebook them, forget. So we've automated the whole process, and it's here today. So this video did not find you by accident. Don't quit, guys. Don't give up. Keep with the struggle, man. We're making it a lot easier. Go to GuildUSA.com. Get out and get it.
Get out and get it.
Okay, so that first job was pretty straightforward. It was a microwave, and the client, when he originally booked, he put in the symptoms about how the door hinge wasn't working, so we went right at it and got it done. We got the diagnostic done. We ordered the 2 parts. Jacob, what were those parts?
It was the torsion springs for the KitchenAid door. There's 2 of them. They're the identical. They're just flipped upside down, but one of them snapped, and if one snapped, the other one's not far behind, so we got to order both, replace them both at once.
All right, there you got it, right from the chief engineer himself. So we'll be back there in 2 days, but the parts were put right into the app automatically via the part number. They got added to the estimate. The customer approved the estimate, and then they pick their own time. So they rebooked themselves, and then once they approved that estimate, the parts were put in the cart automatically and then ordered automatically. And then there's a tag connected with that job and that customer on that part. So when it comes in, you know exactly what job it's for. Get out and get it, people. We're off to the next job. What's the next job on the schedule here?
We got an F7E1, probably going to be replacing an actuator with the speed sensor for a Maytag top load washer.
That's right. So we got an F7E1. The guy's complaining that it won't stop draining or something, or it won't shift gears. We'll see when we get there. You know how it is. What he put in, sometimes with these Maytags, it is a drain pump or the wire is disconnected down the bottom, got shook loose by the motion of the drum. Could be a drain pump issue, but F7E1, but you never know. Could have been an F9. The old man read as an F7, but we're prepared with an actuator, and I'll try to get this one on film for you. Okay, so we just passed through the gate of the next customer. It's a suspected actuator, so we're coming prepared with the actuator, but it is a diagnostic, and we're prepared for a full repair. We'll let you know how it goes. Hopefully the client won't be up our butt, and I'll be able to get a video of this and share it on YouTube to help other people get the fix. Get out and get it. Go to GuildUSA.com.
Oh, and then of course it showed that error right there.
Did you run it on any specific cycle as well, or just always normal?
Usually, well, I tried different settings to see if I could get it going. Usually it's just on normal, regular. Mm-hmm. And then we had some softener in there, so I went ahead and turned it on. And usually run at about medium as far as tub capacity.
Your water valve back there isn't looking too healthy on the wall.
Thing's been like that for 20 years.
Yeah, the trouble is it might not shut off, so if something starts leaking, you go to shut it off and the whole thing explodes.
Oh, Lord.
You want to have a plumber look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the newer ones, there's a lot more plastic in it. You can take that for what it is or isn't, but plastic doesn't rust.
Right.
But if that's the thing, in an emergency, you're just going to be hurting yourself.
That one hadn't been changed since we owned the house, so that's 26 years. So.
Yeah, even if we have to work on a water valve on the machine, we'd have to shut that main off. And if that's seized up, then we got to shut the whole house water off, right?
Yeah, that's no worries there. This valve, it still works. I mean, as far as it just looks awful.
Well, it's leaking is what it's showing, and I
Yeah.
can tell you from personal advice, I've never seen a leak get better.
No, they never do.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's what you're probably smelling, downy soft, or maybe the wool eye.
We hear that it's trying to agitate. The motor's going, however, it's not.
I'll live. It's not my first rodeo. I got you a pair of socks down here, though. Yeah, nothing looks jammed. I don't see anything inside of the belt. So let's probably put it back into the test mode there. We're using a lot of effort to hold that up. It's not needed. I got all my wedges in here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is the door locking?
Yeah, it is, but we still need 15 seconds for the actuator to move over. F7E1.
I'll just check the resistance on the actuator.
Not yet, I still want to see it shift because there is an actuator only mode. And get down here with me too.
Yeah, so it must be the capacitor. So it went on with an assist from the hand. So it's a capacitor.
I'm going to discharge the capacitors always before testing. And capacitance.
Yeah, pretty much dead.
Yeah, nothing. Probably has a broken wire contact somewhere right here at the top even.
Okay, so we're getting you a new capacitor.
So Mark, what's the total?
All right, so that was a fun one. If we didn't have our systems, it might have been a little more difficult, but it pointed right to the solution right there. What was that all about, Jacob? What was that happen there?
So the client was getting the F7E1, which according to the documentation is for a bad shifter, or the speedometer, which they're the same module. The speedometer is not detecting any rotation of the drum or agitator. And turns out the drum and agitator was not rotating at all. So what ended up happening, the capacitor, it would start, the motor would start humming, you could hear it trying, but it would never get over its initial friction. So you can throw your hand down there and just give it a quick little movement, or you can take the inside of the drum and spin it. And after you manually assist it, it starts going, but the capacitor is completely dead. So the shifter, the sensor was reading no rotation speed, which was correct, but there was no error code for just a capacitor. You had to use your brain for that one.
So with the part diagram that was already included within the customer job that was put in there instantly from when the customer booked, showed us the parts manual. We looked up the part, put it into the part lookup. It gave us the retail price from our cone right there. We were able to communicate with the customer right there. We added it to the estimate. The customer approves the estimate. Customer rebooked himself according to the time that the part will arrive. And so we can't forget to order the part. We can't forget to rebook the client. And everything is already put into the CRM, into the system. Everything's already recorded, and the job's already loaded up for Friday when we're returning with the part. Get out and get it. Make it a lot easier with GuildUSA.com, y'all.
Get out and get it.